security architecture has, particularly in recent years, been confronted with unprecedented strains, erosion, and complex challenges that pose serious risks to global peace and stability. Escalating armed conflicts, ever-increasing weakening respect for international law and the Charter of the United Nations, erosion of multilateralism, imposition of unlawful unilateral coercive measures, and the renewed reliance on nuclear weapons as instruments of policy have created a highly unstable global environment. These ever-increasing threats and challenges demand urgent collective action, particularly by this conference, which remains the sole multilateral negotiating forum on disarmament. Nuclear weapons constitute the gravest threat to humanity, and it is a matter of serious concern and deep regret that, contrary to existing international legal obligations for their complete, verifiable, and irreversible elimination, reliance on such weapons is increasingly entrenched in the security doctrines of some states. Humanity continues to live under the shadow of more than 12,000 nuclear warheads, many of which remain deployed or on high alert, embedded in doctrines that contemplate their rapid use and, in some cases, their first use. The continued reliance on such arsenals reflects doctrines that perpetuate existential risks for all humanity and stand in direct contradiction with disarmament obligations under the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. Iran has consistently pursued a strategy aimed at the peaceful use of nuclear energy, while demonstrating readiness to address any concerns regarding the nature of its nuclear program and to ensure its exclusively peaceful character. It was on this basis that Iran entered into nuclear negotiations and has continued until very today. A review of the course of these negotiations speaks volumes. The Islamic Republic of Iran has consistently affirmed that it neither seeks to manufacture nor to acquire nuclear weapons, which have no place whatsoever in Iran's national security doctrine. This position is rooted in our defense policy and reinforced by clear religious boundaries prohibiting weapons of mass destruction. Mr. President, lasting agreements can only be achieved through mutual balanced commitments and respect for the legitimate rights of nations. The Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons explicitly recognizes the inalienable right of all state parties to develop, research, produce, and use nuclear energy, including enrichment, for peaceful purposes. This right is inherent, non-negotiable, and legally binding. It is not conditional upon political considerations, nor can it be suspended or reinterpreted arbitrarily. Any attempt to portray this right as revocable fundamentally contradicts the letter and the spirit of the treaty. Despite Iran's demonstrated commitment to diplomacy and good faith engagement, the conduct of certain Western states, most notably the United States, has seriously undermined the credibility of the negotiating process. The unilateral withdrawal of the United States from the JCPOA, in clear violation of an internationally endorsed agreement, dealt a profound blow to trust and stability of multilateral obligations. This decision not only disregarded multilateral commitments, but also imposed unjustified economic and humanitarian consequences on the Iranian people. More troubling still was the recourse to military aggression against Iran in last June, at a time when we were in the midst of negotiations. Such aggression stands in a stark contradiction to basic principles of United Nations Charter and international law, in particular paragraph 4 of Article 2 in the Charter. By colluding with a non-party to the NPT against a state party, the United States, one of the depositories of the treaty, has inflicted a serious blow to the integrity, credibility, and spirit of the NPT, the consequences of which will persist forever. Attacks on safeguarded nuclear facilities constitute war crimes, carry the potential for radiological release, long-term environmental contamination, and transboundary consequences affecting entire region. The failure of the Security Council and the IAEA to unequivocally condemn these attacks sets a dangerous precedent and signals a serious erosion of the global non-proliferation regime. Responsibility for such unlawful acts does not rest solely with the direct perpetrators. States that provided political, military, or intelligence support bear responsibility under international law for aiding and abetting internationally wrongful acts. Selective condemnation and double standards gravely undermine the credibility of international norms and institutions. Silence in the face of such violations is not neutrality, it is acquiescence.